Hi. Hi, Jose. How you doing? Book club, book club, book club. Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. We're gonna get right into the next chapter of Higurashi here. I believe it left off with them, Shion saying how close Watanagashi was, and that she was hoping, maybe Satoko would disappear this year. Doing good, how about me? I'm doing alright, alright. It's still too hot out, but it's also art fight month, so that like cancels each other out. Just still kind of stressed from moving, I guess. But like that's why I like streams. It helps me decompress, you know. Also, book club's very calming stream, so I'm very excited to read the next chapter with y'all. All right, we're gonna go ahead and just like get into it, yeah. The day of the Watanagashi festival, June 20th, 1982, 1:40 p.m. For a second, I didn't know if the cicadas was in my ear or outside. Good to hear. What was I doing today? Nothing in particular. Nothing at all. I just wanted to play hooky. I woke up in the afternoon. I ate instant food for lunch while watching boring TV programs. I had a light headache, so I laid down on the sofa. I wouldn't wake up again if I went to sleep. Sounds like you need a nap. Whatever. I decided to sleep. I'd already told Sis that Satoshi-kun had asked her to look after Satoko. I didn't have to do anything myself. I fell asleep, though my head was aching a little bit. That would be all I'd have to deal with. June 20th, 1982, 5:02 p.m. The aunt believed that all the villagers frowned upon her because her brother-in-law and his wife were pro-dam activists. She surely experienced some fallout during the time of the dispute, but people had stopped looking coldly upon her, even though she assumed otherwise. It just looks like the volume was like super duper loud. Oh, hi Risu, welcome, welcome. Sorry, a little late. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Thanks for coming. She was paranoid, believing that all the villagers hated her, and so she decided to hate them back. Her attitude, of course, begot bigot hatred from the villagers. Begot hate. I don't know. I'm bad at English. You got news? Oh, hell yeah. And the situation became exactly the way she thought it was going to be from the start. What came first? Their poor relationships with the neighbors. Or her husband's affair? She didn't know herself. Her husband claimed that she got a lover because she was fed up with her attitude. She in turn claimed that the relationship with the neighbors was sour because her husband had damaged their reputation. Only Satoshi was aware that both happened at almost the same time. Their quarrels had become a daily routine now. When the husband came home late, the wife would shout at him in the entrance. Satoshi wondered why they didn't just get a divorce. Their marriage had been rotten as it was. You're moving tomorrow, but you don't know how long you'll be out there? Oh no. Well, it's good you're moving though. I feel that. I'm also moving. Hopefully my internet's set up soon though, so I can like get the setup in the new place. Because once it's in the new place, it's going to be a lot quieter and a lot easier to stream, I feel like. But that's good, Risu. That's good. He secretly knew a reason for that too. It was the fortune his parents had left. His aunt had hidden their bank book and stamp and never allowed the husband to access them. So her husband would search the house for them. She'd find he'd stole some money from her purse. This would cause another fight. ASMR streaming? No, I don't think so. Maybe an ASMR recording though. But like I don't have the fancy 3DO microphone, so you just get some basic bitch ASMR unfortunately, even if I did like get up the courage to do one. Satoshi had never been aware that his parents had that much money when they were alive. After their death, however, one of the relatives told him. He was informed that his parents left a large sum of money in some bank account. Satoshi couldn't understand why they had that kind of money, because his family had been, as far as he knew, poor. It was because of that dam project. His parents probably got some money in return for their cooperation from the government. They had strived to get more villagers on their side, provided information to them, and whatnot. The money was probably compensation for their efforts. His aunt and uncle never had any intention to adopt them until they heard about that money. After someone from some financial institution revealed its existence, they appeared to adopt Satoko and Satoshi. Good luck with your move. At least it's something. Yeah. The couple would fight every day. Eventually, Satoshi's uncle started spending more time in his mistress's home. He realized that he had no reason to return to his own home, because he'd just end up in a fight with his wife if he did. When he stopped coming home, Satoshi felt relieved. Neither their uncle nor their aunt treated the two siblings very well. Satoshi's aunt wouldn't want to vent her frustration upon them. Wouldn't have to vent their frustration. The reason the couple fought was their corrupted relationship, so if they separated, there wouldn't be any more fights. Satoshi had thought that at first. But even after they separated, his aunt still had the short temper. Another woman had stolen her husband. The villagers must have been talking about that behind her back. It was mortifyingly embarrassing. Since she lost an opponent to fight, Satoshi's aunt directed her hatred towards the siblings. Satoshi had been observing her. He learned when she would get upset and how to avoid the attention. He managed to get by without upsetting her, by turning a keen eye to her behavior and avoiding the conflicts. Sorry, lost track of time, but book club! Hell yeah, book club! But Satoko couldn't do that. She hated her aunt and didn't try to hide it. Satoshi had told her to behave in the aunt's presence, but her eyes were always filled with hatred. Satoshi strived to reduce the conflict between them as much as possible. He stepped in to mend the relationship. It was a heavy burden for him, though, because he was still just a boy. He bore so much. He covered for his little sister by lying and maneuvering. He tried to maintain a tangible sense of peace, but he just couldn't do that forever. The relationship between Satoko and her aunt had already spiraled out of control. Satoshi found something in the trash. It probably wasn't a legitimate piece of trash disposal. If it was, sanitation workers would have came and picked it up. He passed by this street all the time, and so he noticed when there's new things dumped here. He found a plain-looking desk, of the kind likely to be seen in offices. Somebody must have dumped it in the past few days. His aunt liked to bring usable trash home. She'd had Satoshi help bring a chest home just a few days ago. If he told her about the desk, she'd want it. His aunt hated to find bugs and garbage in drawers, so he'd always open them to check before carrying the thing home. So she opened the drawers, all of which were empty. After that, he turned around and walked for about 5 steps. He was standing in a knee-high bush. There he laid something he'd been carrying all the time, until today. He'd been very hard to find unless you specifically knew where it was to begin with. Looking satisfied, Satoshi looked around for some landmark to remember the place by. June 20th, 1982, 5:51 p.m. Hey, old pal! Hey, old pal! I see you showed up again this year. You better get ready for us. Haha! You're as peppy as ever, huh? Is she a newcomer? Uh-huh. This is Reina Ryugyu. Don't underestimate her. She's good. Oh, no, I'm not. Nice to meet you. Yo, you too. I've bought all kinds of prizes this year. There's a real battle to be won. Try and take them all if you can. Reina tends to dote on the cute stuff. Yeah, that stuffed animal looks just her type. What? Oh, so cute. I want to take it home with me. Hey, this booth isn't open yet. Whoa. Stop it, Reina. He says the booth isn't even open yet. You can run him the ground once he opens it up. Oh, it's mine. I'm taking it home. I think I'm here before the storm. Greetings. Yes, hello, Antimatter. Welcome, welcome. Reina lost her marbles over that stuffed animal, and everyone laughed. Everybody except Satoko. She was standing by herself, some distance from the crowd. Her eyes looked dull. Beep. Oh, what is it, Rika? Rika walked up to Satoko, smiling ear to ear in an effort to cheer her up. Forget your worries today. Let's just have fun. Satoko looked down. Even if she got to have fun today, her circumstances at home wouldn't change. Satoko, your evil aunt isn't around. I know that. So why don't you try and have fun? Biba. Nipa! Nipa! Sorry. I just don't feel like it. Could you please just leave me alone? Why aren't you smiling? Satoko sulkily glimpsed at Rika. She gave her a look, as though she wanted to say that Rika should know the reason. Even if she could have fun today, nothing would change between her and her evil aunt. No matter how fun the festival was, once she went home, her aunt would be there. The aunt would find something wrong with Satoko, get mad, shout as loudly as she could so the neighbors could hear. Now she can have fun, but even just for today while knowing all that. Satoko didn't say it out loud, but her eyes betrayed her emotions to Rika. So, Satoko, if your suffering ends today, would you smile? Satoko gasped. She thought that Rika might do something to help, but soon after she realized that Rika was just trying to comfort her. Could her suffering really end today? Because of Rika? How? Satoko knew that there was really nothing Rika could do. And so, after just one moment of freedom, Satoko fell back into depression. How things going, Saf? They're going alright. They're going alright. The book's going great. Yeah. You have two sides. One is Satoko right now, and the other one's Rika. Just a little motivated. Nipa, yes, yes, yes. Rika, don't give me false hopes. Satoko. Rika's voice was clearer than Satoko's had ever been before. It's already been decided. June 20th, 1982, 8:11 p.m. Satoshi snuck out the window after supper. He heard the distant ruckus of the festival. The festival would end at 9 p.m. After the Watanagashi ceremony, there was going to be a raffle drawing. So there were two types of people in Hinamizawa. The people who would go home for dinner, and the ones who would stay until the raffle was over. Either relaxing at home, or still at the festival. There was only two patterns. On top of that, there weren't any neighbors in the vicinity of Satoshi's house. As a result, he found nobody on the streets. On that night, the small village seemed especially desolate. Satoshi knew it was going to be like this, but he would keep worrying until he saw it for himself. He was barefooted, but started running without his hesitation. He felt as though he'd become a wild animal running on his bare feet. He got the impression that he would run faster than usual. Not only his running ability, his vision, his hearing, his sense of smell. All his senses were keener, including his sixth sense. He could almost sense the presence of people in the distance, if only when crouching like an animal. It felt strange, as though he had stepped into another world. He had been feeling tense and anxious until today, battling with his own fear. But now he felt as though he had metamorphosized into a different person. June 20th, 1982, 8:37 p.m. Alright everyone, I'm going to explain how the raffle works. Please gather round the altar. The festival had reached its climax. The raffle was going to start. Both the women who were dancing and those who were waiting for the raffle gathered round the altar. This was the first time they'd held a raffle. The planning committee decided to hold one from this year onward to attract more people to the festival. At first, the prizes were the things committee members had donated, but Oryu, not appreciating how pathetic they looked, had to throw them away. Ario took the initiative and bought a brand new TV, a washing machine, a cooling fan, and other such things for the raffle. The committee wanted to keep it small initially, but it turned out big thanks to her. Oryu was upset because the committee members weren't enthusiastic enough in her opinion. Some of the members thought it would be very difficult to prepare prizes of equal value the following year, so this might be a very first and the very last raffle. Thanks to you, we have much wonderful prizes this year, Oryu-san. They must have cost a lot, didn't they? We can reimburse you from our budget. Buffoon. No point reimbursing that. It was never about the money. Idiots. Now, don't say that. Come on, he's talking his new pair of shoes. Oh my god. The raffles All thanks to you, Oreo-san. It's not like I'm doing this by myself. Don't be ridiculous. I think Oreo is supposed to sound like a really old, haggy woman, but I don't know if I got that in me. I'll be real. The mayor, Kimiyoshi, was having a tough time pacifying Oreo. All of a sudden, one of the committee members burst into the tent in a rush. He looked upset, so Kimiyoshi assumed that somebody probably got hurt in an accident. What's going on, Makino-san? I hope you're not having a heart attack. Kimiyoshi made a joke to calm him down. Makino, however, still looked tense. He whispered something to Kimiyoshi. Even without hearing the exchange between Makino and Kimiyoshi, it was plain as day that it was bad news. Oreo-san, I have unpleasant news, if you don't mind. Kimiyoshi, accompanied by Makino, moved to Orio's side and spoke in a very serious tone. Kimiyoshi whispered to her in the exact words Makino told him. Oh dear, this is bad. Ain't unexpected. What happens thrice will happen a fourth time. That's not funny, Oreo-san. You're right. It isn't. It's just another hassle. The police are trying to identify the body. I heard the face was completely destroyed, so it'll be difficult. It's quite clear who it is, though. Eh? You know who it might be? Oreo glared at Kimiyoshi and started chuckling. Idiot. It must be someone impudent lad who didn't come to the Watanagashi festival. People who respect Oyashiro-sama wouldn't get involved in something like that. Oreo kept laughing. Kimiyoshi and Makino didn't know what to react. June 20th, 1982, 9:04 p.m. This is merciless. Kumo-chan, every death is merciless, unless the dead wish for it. They have my condolences. How's it going over there? Did you find something we could identify the body? The forensic investigators shook their heads. The victim's wearing sandals and casual clothes. They must be from the neighborhood. We should be able to identify the corpse by just asking around. That's the way we do it. The section manager says the case might become classified, so be careful with that. Gotcha. Kumagai gathered some officers and gave them directions. Dr. Irie has arrived. Doctor, it's over here. A young doctor got out of the car and headed towards the victim's direction. Hello. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. I had to help with the raffle. You must have drunk a lot at the festival, Doctor. Are you sure you're sober? Maybe I should run a breathalyzer test on you just to be safe. I'm fine. My assistant is driving. Clever of you. Hey, let the doctor pass. There's an area cordoned off with blue plastic sheets. An officer rolled up the sheet and let Oshi and Oyuri pass. The forensic people are taking photos from many different angles. The blood splatters and the bloody sandals were left untouched, marked with chalk and indicated with the small alphabetized plates. I'm not used to seeing things like this. Irie took out a handkerchief and covered his nose. You should breathe through your mouth. Well, you might sense the smell visually, though. The body appeared to be that of a middle-aged woman, and it was soaked in blood. It looked like a middle-aged woman because of the hair and what she was wearing. The reason why no one could be certain it was a middle-aged woman was because its face was completely pulverized. This is brutal. I'm sure it was done out of malice. The victim must have been murdered right here, judging from the pattern of the blood splatters and the soles and the sandals. And, even though not many people take this road, the body is right in the middle of it. It's very unusual to see a culprit who would have bludgeoned their victim until their face was completely destroyed. Also, can you look at their arms? Oshi put a latex glove and lifted the corpse's arm. See? Spotless, aren't they? Are you saying the victim didn't try to protect her head? There's no signs of struggle? Right you are. I think the victim lost consciousness after the first blow. Then the culprit kept beating until to complete the murder. The victim was probably laying face down at that time, judging from the stains on the clothes. The body was face up now. The culprit seemed to have flipped the victim over in order to smash into her face, even though by that point, her death was certain. Irie looked like he was going to throw up, both because of the putrid smell and Oishi's reasoning. Smashing the victim's face is clearly a sign of a grudge, in my experience. It's a very profound grudge, too. That means the culprit must be someone very close to the victim. I understand you didn't call me here to resuscitate her, Doctor. Do you know who the victim is? If you do, I don't have to waste my time questioning the neighbors. Harry looked at the body again. He looked away quickly and thought. And after a while, Harry left the investigation area without saying anything. I'm sorry. I don't know. You sure? Oh, she smirked and looked into Iria's eyes, as though Iria was hiding something. I'm not hiding anything. I guess you're still under the influence, Doctor. Maybe you'll remember when you sober up. Let me know if you do. Oh, she tapped Iria in the back. The doctor, saying he wanted to get some fresh air, left the scene. Kumagai returned. Oshi-san, the section manager is on the radio. The one in the first car. Iria lied. Huh? Nothing. Hurry up and question the neighbors. The victim must be from this area. June 20th, 1982, 19:39 p.m. Here he is. Oshi-san. Thank you for coming here this late at night. I know you have school tomorrow. I'm really sorry to bother you. No. Oh, sorry. No problem. Where's your father? My stepfather doesn't come home much. Uh-huh? Since when? When did he come home last? I don't know. I heard he's living with a woman who works at the club in Okinomiya or something. I don't remember exactly when, but I guess I saw him a few weeks ago. Uh-huh. Do you have your father's address? No. He's living with a woman who works at a club? Do you know the name of that place? No. I know it's in Okinomiya. That's all. What's your father's name? Tepe Hojo. Oh, she singled Kumai with his chin, who nodded while he was taking notes. Were your mother and father getting along well? I don't know much about that, but I don't think so. I see. I want you to tell me honestly. Do you know who anyone might have been holding a grudge against your stepmother? I don't. Alright. Please let me know if you remember something. Here's my card. My number is on it. Okay. I might ask to see you again with some further inquiries. And if you see your stepfather, please let him know that I want to contact him. Kuma-chan. Drive him home, will ya? Oh, no. I can go home by myself. Please, let us drive you home. There's a possibility that the culprit who murdered your aunt is still roaming around the neighborhood. You might get hurt, too. Thank you for your consideration, but I'm really fine. I'm fine. Satoshi tried to reject the officer, but Oshi and Kumai insisted. In the end, Satoshi was forced to accept. He turned around to leave, when Oshi spoke to him as he remembered something he'd forgotten to say. Hojo-san! Yes? Don't worry. It's no problem. We'll catch the culprit soon. Do you have any leads? Yeah, we do. Like what? That's confidential. Ordinary people might think that Oshi was trying to cheer the poor kid up with a joke. Well, usually people get pretty worked up when they commit murder, though of course there are some exceptions. What kind of evidence do you find when the culprit's worked up? When somebody's in a very excited condition, their body shows many symptoms. Sweat, loss of hair. We often find the culprit's hair at the crime scenes. Well, this is outside, so it's a bit different, but still. Did you find their hair? I don't know yet. The forensic guys are searching the scene right now. I'm anxious to see. Whatever they find, they'll bring it to me. Excuse me, I have to go now. Please. Kuma-chan, would you? Sure. I'll see you again soon, Hojo-san. I'll let you know if there's any progress in the investigation. Let me know when you remember something. Let's cooperate to catch that murderer of your stepmother. That's confidential. He doesn't know. Is that code for... That's code whenever someone's like, it's confidential. That's code for I don't fucking know. Stay hydrated. It's warm outside, everybody. Here we go. Looks like we're back to Shion. Pretty sure, yeah. Sis called the morning after the Watanagashi festival to tell me that the curse had struck again for the 4th time. The victim was the evil aunt who was harassing Satoshi-kun and Satoko. Satoshi-kun's suffering would be over now, since the problem was with Satoko and the aunt's relationship to begin with. Maybe I should have celebrated, but I wasn't in the mood for some reason. Do the police have a lead on the suspect? Sis went quiet when I asked. I don't know. Oshi seems to be questioning people in the neighborhood. He thinks the culprit is somebody close to the victim. Being identical twins, Sis and I think very much alike. If I suspected Satoshi-kun of being the murderer, so would she. Because of this, I didn't have to mention the obvious. Does Satoshi-kun have an alibi for the day? I don't know. Huh. I heaved a huge sigh. Are you stupid? He was at the festival. Didn't you see him there? Yeah, right. I'm sorry I didn't realize that. I heaved another sigh. Sis was stupid enough to get that to make an alibi for him, even though the murder of his aunt alone would raise enough suspicion. So that means he did do it? That's not important right now. The problem is whether he has an alibi or not. Well, the police are going to come here later. I'll tell them I was with him at the festival. Sis, lying out of the blue like that isn't going to work. If you haven't done anything to ensure his alibi, it's too late now. Just be honest with them. I can't trust your acting skills. You might raise more suspicion if you make something up on the spot. Yeah, sorry. She sounded depressed. I was the one who could have been depressed. Mion usually handles things well, but she's not too good with emergencies. I was left worried for the future of the Sonozaki family. Mion must have been embarrassed. She soon changed the subject. I guess you haven't been able to work lately, have you? You're right, I haven't. Thanks to you. Sorry about that. I'll hide somewhere until tonight, so maybe you can work today? Sis has been appearing in public places during the festival preparations and whatnot. As a result, I hadn't been able to pretend to be her. I hadn't been able to work. As someone who had to support myself, it was a bit of a pain. To be honest, I didn't feel like working. But I couldn't afford to just be sitting around either. When I locked my apartment door before leaving, the door of the next apartment over opened and Kasai appeared. Shion-san, are you heading out? Yeah, I'm gonna go to work since Sis gave me some time till tonight. Can you give me a ride? Shion-san, wouldn't it be safer for you to take a few days off? The police seem to be staking out the main house. I don't think it's a good idea to leave. I appreciate your concern, but I have to make money to survive. Kasai might suggest he donate money to my cause. However, I had sworn myself when I started living here that I wouldn't depend on Kasai. While I don't obey anyone else's rules, I stick to my own. Kasai could tell that I was adamant in this decision. So, after repeating himself a couple of times as a formal procedure, he decided to give me a ride after all. Every time we went to my uncle's store by car, we stopped at this traffic light. I knew it was going to happen again, but it still irritated me. Pedestrians passed by in front of the car. I was startled to see that one of them looked like Satoshi-kun. It was him. Though I'd spoken with him on the phone just a couple of days before. It'd been a while since I saw him last. Kasai, sorry, but could you tell my uncle that I can't come today? I'm getting off here. What? Shion-san! Kasai looked taken aback, but I got out of the car regardless. The light turned green. The car behind him honked while Kasai was shouting at me, so he had to start moving. Satoshi-kun was on his bike, but he was going really slow. I caught up with him in a flash and tapped him on the back. Hello. I'm surprised to see you in Okonomiya, Satoshi-kun. If I talked to him with a smile, he might smile back. So I smiled as brightly as I could. Mion. He looked tired as always, but as I could tell, he was trying to smile back. My worries suddenly disappeared. I was certain I looked happy. I was aware of that myself, so it must have been obvious to Satoshi-kun. I don't know the circumstances, but you look happy. Yeah, I am happy. I'm happy because you look happy. When I teased him, he looked a bit embarrassed. It was like we were back in the good old days. I felt even happier than before. So what's going on, Satoshi-kun? Did something good happen? Not really. My aunt died, and I have to deal with the police and the neighbors. I might have asked something dumb. He seemed to be okay with it, though. He frowned a bit at first, but Satoshi-kun continued smiling gently. He looked worn out, but satisfied, like he had accomplished something great. That was the mood I sensed for him. So I was convinced. The one who killed that wicked aunt who tormented Satoko was him. I had absolutely no proof, but I knew it intuitively. So I admitted all those questions. I knew Satoshi-kun's motive for killing his aunt, and how badly he was driven into a corner. I knew the environment and the situation he was in. And I knew Satoshi-kun's feelings. I knew all of that. So I admitted all those questions. I wanted to celebrate his release from that curse, so I smiled like nothing was different as I asked. Where are you going, Satoshi-kun? To work? That's right. I have to make a stop before that, though. A stop? I have to make sure it's still there, otherwise I'll continue feeling really anxious. The conversation reminded me. The reason he started this part-time job was to buy Satoko that huge bear. It was being sold at a toy store just down the street. I recall that the teddy bear was very expensive. Satoko's birthday was right after the festival. I wasn't sure that what day, though. Wait, didn't he say he quit his job? Maybe he was going to go greet his ex-coworkers and clean out his locker or something. Either way, he'd be completely free very soon. Maybe he hadn't been paid yet, and that's why he wanted to go check and see if they still had the teddy bear. Maybe he was the only getting paid on Satoko's birthday. When we got near the toy store, he rushed to the display window. He looked relieved that it hadn't been sold yet. Good. All right. It's still here. You've earned enough money already, haven't you? Why don't you just reserve it? Huh? He probably hadn't thought of that. He really didn't need someone to look after him. I looked into the display window over his shoulder. The teddy bear wasn't cute, in my opinion. It looked huge and cramped in the middle of that store showcase. Really, it looked more like a display model than an item for sale. I don't see a price tag. Is it really for sale? How much is it? Yeah. I'm sure they sell it. What about the price? Does it fit your budget? It's alright. I've already checked. Satoshi-kun thought I was teasing him again. He pouted and looked a little sulky. There's no problem then. Why don't you just go reserve it? Then you won't have to feel anxious anymore. We entered the store and looked for a clerk. Is anybody here? Nice. Maybe you can get in without paying. No, Mion. Stealing is bad. I'm kidding. Trying to make you laugh. Do you really think I'd do that? No. Sorry. Satoshi-kun smiled apologetically. I puffed up my cheeks to tease him. I had really been a while since my last time he did this. In between those times, many undesirable things happened, and I wanted to forget. But now I felt as though all those things simply vanished in the air around us. I found an old person napping in the back. He must be the clerk, I thought. He looked to be fast asleep. Excuse me, you work here, right? I poked his shoulder, but he didn't look like he was going to wake up. When I did that, a middle-aged woman wearing an apron came in. Grandpa, you fell asleep again? We have a customer! I'm really sorry, you two. He's been very flaky, you know. The middle-aged woman shook the old man awake and told him to get back in the living room. She went to the cash register after that. That was so embarrassing. So, how can I help you? I'd like to reserve something. That big teddy bear in the display window? Oh, that one? Are you sure? That one's really expensive. You know that, right? Yes. I think I have enough. He'll get paid really soon, so he'd like to reserve it. The woman looked a bit hesitant at first, but she eventually wrote down Satoshi-kun's name and accepted the reservation. Satoshi-kun received a slip of paper. See? Now you don't have to worry about that teddy bear anymore. Yeah. I'll get paid soon, too. I feel relieved now. He wouldn't keep coming to check every day if he hadn't done this now. He would have spent his time needlessly worrying. Satoshi-kun looked a little relieved, very relieved indeed. I should have done that sooner. Usually people do that right away when they want something. It's very rare for somebody to not think of that. It's so very fun to tease him. Those painful days seemed unbelievable now. Satoshi-kun looked like he'd forgotten everything that happened until yesterday. Anyway, thanks. Satoshi-kun held out his hand to touch my head. Was he going to stroke it? I felt my face reddening already. Hello, Yoshosh. Hello. Even before he touched my head, I felt tingly, remembering the last time. I don't care about the murder, or whatever else happened. As long as Satoshi-kun had his freedom, everything would be okay. I'd be content as long as they could live happily toward onward. But Satoshi-kun's hand never reached my head. I slowly opened my eyes, only to realize that the situation had drastically changed. There were 4 men in suits blocking our way. It looked as though they'd been waiting for us to exit the toy store. Hello, hello! The oldest of the 4 men stepped forward while smirking. I'd never met this man, but it looked like he knew both Mion and Satoshi-kun. He was probably a cop. Come to cause chaos? Alright, well, welcome in. Good luck with the chaos. Bro is such a cutie patootie. He really is. Oh, I love Satoshi. I ran a search for information in my head, and I found some right away. Good to see both of you, Hojo-san, Sonozaki-san. Sorry to bother you at a time like this. This must be Corrado Oishi, the cop who had investigated the series of mysterious deaths. He thinks that the Sonozaki family is behind all the cases. In other words, he's an enemy of the Sonozaki family. He has deep connections with the other investigation divisions in the police force and likes to nose around the business in the area. He annoys the Sonozaki family enough as it is by just interfering with the Yakuza business, let alone his suspicions on the series of mysterious deaths. Naturally, as the family's successor, he's not a welcome figure in the Mion Sonozaki. I tried to imagine how Sis would react. Knocks over a cup. Oi! Oi, Oishi-san. Thank you for working so hard for our safety. Oh, the 4 of you want something from this toy store? A doll, maybe? Pfft. I know what they want, and it's not a toy. It's probably not me either. They want Satoshi-kun. I took a look at Satoshi-kun. He seemed a bit uncomfortable. The other 3 cops loosely surrounded us to prevent our escape. Hojo-san, I'd like to talk to you about something. What for? Oh, sorry. What for? Are you taking him to the station? You don't have to go with them, Satoshi-kun. Let's get out of here. I pushed on his shoulder, but he just stood there, looking pale and bewildered. Definitely has the build of a cop who's going to retire in a month. That's actually dead on. I'm pretty sure that's what we learned in, like, the first book, is that at the beginning of each loop, Oishi is just like, yeah, I'm only a few months from retiring or whatever. This is my last case. Bewildered. No, he actually looked resigned. Then I recalled Sis's mistake. It's obvious that he killed his aunt from the circumstances. You don't even have to look at this crime scene. How could Mion have failed to create an alibi? That stupid Mion must have spoken to the police without making anything up at all. She must have not told them that she knew where Satoshi-kun was. If she hadn't done anything, the villagers wouldn't have worked to help her. It was just a matter of time until the police uncovered Satoshi-kun's complete lack of an alibi. The police were trying to corner him and lead him to confess. I looked at Satoshi-kun's face again. He looked like a dead man. He probably didn't know he could refuse to be interrogated. If he was taken to the station and grilled by Oishi, he'd confess in a minute. Somebody had to protect him. Nobody had ever been there for him. I had to step up now. But how? Would it be possible to alter what Mion had already told them, saying it was a mistake? That wasn't gonna work. If I had more time, I'd come up with an excellent idea, but I didn't have that much time at all. To pressure him, the cops were drawing nearer. Satoshi-kun must have felt intimidated. He might end up turning himself in due to all the pressure while he's stuck trying to come up with something. I have to do something, and now. I have to say something, otherwise Satoshi-kun might give in. I have to save him. Oshi drew nearer. Satoshi fell back. It won't take much time. Come on, don't be scared. It won't take much time? He just said it. He just said he wouldn't let him out of caught him now. Satoshi-kun didn't give in. Don't give in. If you give him now, everything you've been working for will be ruined. Oh. Satoshi-kun looked like he was at his breaking point. Oshi was clearly aware of it. Oshi smirked and held out his arms to grab Satoshi-kun's shoulder. I felt electrified when I saw that. That hand shouldn't be allowed to touch Satoshi-kun. The moment Oshi touched his shoulder, he'd give in. He'd go to the police station and confess everything. Do you want to know his alibi? Huh? Oshi turned his face toward me. His hand left the hanging in the air. I wasn't very prepared for this. I just had to stop Oshi, no matter what. I only needed to gain some time. It didn't really matter what I said. That's right. I want to get Hojo-san's alibi. We can't just be doing our jobs. We can't seem to confirm his whereabouts at the time of the crime. It's shameful, but we decided to question him in person. You don't even have to ask him. I can confirm his alibi. Oh? Really? Well, that would help. I mean, you already told me that you were at the festival that night, and many people can confirm it. It'd be easier if we could confirm that Hojo-san was with you. But I don't think you mentioned him being there when I questioned you last time, did you? Are you going to change your statement now? Even though no one at the festival saw Hojo-san, are you going to tell me he was with you? That's right. He was with me. Wouldn't that be enough? I know you were there with the other friends that night. I saw that myself. Are you still saying that you were with him? Isn't that a little too hard to believe? Isn't it? Oshi approached me with a creepy smile. He was teasing me because my excuse sounded funny? I didn't think so. He was frustrated due to being interrupted when he was about to catch a big fish. Are you saying that you forgot that you were with him and only just now remembered when you actually were? Mion Sonozaki? I did get a little scared, but I couldn't stop myself. I could save Satoshi-kun if I revealed my real identity. I was aware of the risk. Grandma would certainly capture me if I revealed it. I didn't think of the consequences after that. I'm not Mion Sonozaki. I didn't go to the Watanagashi festival in the first place. Huh? Satoshi-kun and I were talking in a restaurant in Okonomiya at that time. The name of the place is Angel Mart, and you can confirm it with the owner if you want. Oshi was still smirking, but he apparently felt confused. What are you saying? If you aren't Mion, then who are you? I'm Shion Sonozaki, Mion's twin sister. Pleasure to meet you, Oishi-san. Oshi looked perplexed, like he didn't believe what I had just said. He frowned. I didn't know Mion Sonozaki-san had a twin. Are you trying to fool me? Not at all. Why don't you check the family register or whatever? Should I call, sis? All the cops look somewhat bewildered now. Shion Sonozaki-san. Yeah, that's me. Is there anything wrong? Can you come with us? If you're testifying that you were with Hojo-san that night, I'll have to talk to you too. A sure thing. Please go easy on us. The cops gathered at their car and started discussing something, looking like they'd never expected this to happen. I hope to be able to fix Satoshi-kun's alibi for at least a little while. It shouldn't be too difficult to talk to Sis about this, then forge up an alibi together. Just gonna say, badass Keiichi would have... Shut up! Keiichi would have fucking folded under the pressure. Call him a cookie the way he crumbles, bruh. Do not. Do not. Satoshi-kun, tell them you were chatting with me at Angel Mart that night, no matter what they ask. You got that? I'll confirm your alibi. Tell them you don't remember that night too clearly, or that you should just keep silent. Satoshi-kun wore a startled expression. Though I was telling him something important, he apparently decided not to listen. Can you hear me, Satoshi-kun? You can't mess this up, okay? Oh, okay. Damn it, boy. He must have been feeling deceived. No wonder. I just confessed that I wasn't Mion, but her twin sister. I'd really been deceiving him. Are you upset? Why? Because I've been fooling you. Satoshi-kun started laughing. I didn't know why he'd laugh, just because he wasn't the type of person who would laugh in order to hide something. Well, now I finally understand why you were so weird sometimes in class. I've been thinking it was a bit strange. Are you upset? I've been fooling you. Satoshi-kun looked puzzled. It was like he didn't know whether he should be upset about it or not. Or maybe he was only pretending to be that way. So, this isn't the first time we've met, is it? Well, yeah, that's right. Okay. How do you write your name? With the characters for poetry and sound. Shon. Huh. Huh? That's a beautiful name. Could you please come with us to the station? We can get you an instant coffee or a tea if you'd like. You lied to the poor dummy? No, she didn't. She's actually Shion. We've been lying. Oh, wait, now I get what you're saying. We only lied a couple times. We were like, nah, Mion. We only did that a couple times. Alright. Achievement unlocked. Absentee present. You covered for a murderer. Oh. Wow, just say it like that. Jeez. Alright, guys. We finished chapter 6. Yay! Only a couple times. It's fine then, right? Shh, fine. It's fine. To be fair, we were lying so we didn't get killed by the Yakuza. To be fair. To be fair. Bachi bachi, yay! Alright, and look at that. We did finish the Watanagashi festival today. I didn't know if it would be... if we'd be able to finish it in, like, one chapter. You know what I mean? Because, like, I feel like in the first book, the Watanagashi took up, like, 2 or 3 chapters. And it was, like, the whole fucking thing. But I guess they were also explaining what the fuck it was. So, it was a bit different. Copium on this girl. Oi! So, how you guys feeling? How you feeling? Satoshi murdering his aunt. Seems familiar, doesn't it? Thanks for the stream. Yeah, thank you for coming. Yeah. The audacity to say that Keiichi would have done this better. Like, the fucking audacity. I have no clue what's happening. That's okay, Yoshi. That's okay. Higurashi is a very long, very intense murder mystery. I can't even, is it? I mean, would you call it a murder mystery or just like psychological horror mystery? I think psychological horror mystery is better. Yes, there's murder, but it's not usually about the murder. There isn't always like a murder to solve. But there is a lot of murder. And then it starts over. Yeah, pretty familiar. Yeah. That's why I'm just like, bro, you have seen what Keiichi does with this fucking slice of mystery. You know what? I could see that, especially for the first book being a slice of mystery. It's not about the murder, it's the trek on the way to the murder. I mean, kind of, a little bit. Like, these are all the answer arcs, and we had read the 4 question arcs before this one. Oh, it's so good. Higurashi's such a good fucking series. Keiichi would have just wished that whoever was onto him would just die, and then they would have been like, whoa. It's true. When Keiichi got to this loop, he was just kind of killing people by going, perish. You know? Man. The audacity to say that, Keiichi. Shion is such a good protagonist. How dare you? What do you mean? This is a slice of life. Yeah, very normal slice of life. Very, very normal. Yes, nothing ever crazy happens. No. As in slicing people. Listen. Okay, now. Let's think. Has anyone actually been sliced and diced? One. I think one. I only count one murder that was actually sliced. That we know of. We never got confirmation how Rika and Satoko died in book 3. We never did get confirmation of how he died. They just kind of told us they were dead. Conate's slice of life anyway. Heck if I know. It's true. Yeah, book 3. Yeah, book 3. Book 3. We never got full confirmation how they died. We just got told that Rika and Satoko were dead. I know that the slice and dice happened to the first damn pro-activist. Like the year 1 murder, right? The guy who got chopped into body pieces. Like, I'm pretty sure that's how they said he died, was them cutting him apart like that. And that they never found one of the arms. True, but bonk of a life doesn't roll off the... Oh my god. Shit, I just realized Seinfeld is a slice of life show. Gross. It is though, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up there. I hope I'll see you tomorrow. We're streaming some Uma Musume, baby. Uma Musume. Same time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Sorry, I'm having a hard time fucking talking. What's the deal? Alright, we're leaving. We're done. We're out of here. Alright, guys. I'll see you tomorrow for Uma Musume. Wednesday's an art stream. Hope you can see then. Okay, bye. Love you. Bye, 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 bye. Have a good night. Good evening. Goodbye. All that good. Bye.